time to start episode, or part 3, I suppose, of this lovely adventure I've been going on. By filling unused Pokemon type combos, which I hope goes on in Gen 9, Scarlet and Violet. I hope that's coming out soon. I'm sure it will. It should be out this year, right? Which is awesome because we need Gen 9 quickly. And I hope they introduce sound typing anyway to balance out fairy typing because he's kind of busted. Anyway, let's continue.
So, we've been doing a series where I explain my ideas for a sort of dream game concept. And this is a part of it. This is the Cascade region, based on the Pacific Northwest, and all of the Mon we're going to talk about today are Pokemon that would be found here. Hey, I already have like half a deck's worth of Mons, so let's also just fill in all the unused type combos to make that one of its own videos. And so here we are, now, today.
Let's go. Nice.
Let's go ahead and start with one of my favorites. There are a few popular ideas for what a normal ghost...
We already got this? It's Hisui and Zoroark. It's Hisui and Zoroark. We already got this, my friend. So this is obviously up before Legend Arceus came out, but let's see what his idea is for a normal ghost
type Pokemon would entail. Normally it's a Schrödinger's cat of sorts, but I like this idea more. This is Spikoi.
Oh, so what are their names? Oh God, it starts with an M. I swear to God. I'm sure I'll remember.
And Opaquespiel. They are Shakespearean opossums.
Opossums.
Some people pronounce the O, some people don't. So on top of possums just being here, Oregon hosts some of the largest Shakespeare festivals, and Ashland, Oregon is huge on their stage plays. It's like a mini Western Broadway, so Shakespeare, acting, yes? And what are opossums known for?
Playing dead.
Two things. One is hanging upside down, sort of being on the other side with all that, but also being really, really good at playing dead. These Pokemon are so good at playing dead that even death itself thinks they are dead. And they are so good at playing roles that you'd assume they are possessed by the spirit of the character. So all in all, this Pokemon is just a possum, hence the normal type, like most plain mammal normal Pokemon, but it just so happens to have ghost powers, like Decidueye. And look, it's doing that skull-holding Shakespeare pose with its baby.
That's really cute, actually. Yeah, I was about to note about that. Oh, I love animals. It's so cool.
Possums carry their babies around, after all, and we gave the baby a little skull face because ghosts, and because it just works. Now it does the pose with the skull. So the names. Spikoi comes from Joey, a baby opossum, Spectate, which is what the audience does at stage plays, and Spectre, a ghost who watches. Opaquespiel comes from spiel, a long monologue, common in Shakespeare plays. Opossum, obviously. Opaque, which means not see-through because it's ghost type, so you'd assume it wouldn't be fully opaque, but it is because it's also normal type. But when you don't pronounce the O, like in opossum, it sounds like Shakespeare. Pakespiel. Shakespeare. I love this!
Opaque seal. There's no opaque spiel. It's opaque seal. Interesting.
Fire grass is a...
Okay, I'm excited for this one. There's a lot of things people would consider fire grass type. There's a lot of like pepper Pokemon or like other cactus mons that people are considering fire ghost type, which makes no sense to me because cactus are usually just filled with water. So it should be water grass type if anything. Anyway, let's see what this one is. I hope it's very creative. It looks very creative. We'll see what it is. We'll see what it is.
Another popular one for Fakemon, since they seem like opposites. But instead of another burning tree or a pepper plant, let's just do an emu. There are plenty of emu farms around here. My uncle has one. This is Blue Mage.
Ooh.
An emu with leafy plumage that blooms. And it's a fire mage that makes explosive fireballs that go boom. I think it's pretty
It's a pyrokinetic emu. Got it.
Self-explanatory, all things considered. Not all of these Mon need a page to explain. Normal ice. I have a fossil Mon for this also, but I wanted to save that for the fossils video. So here is Cascadian Raticate.
Nice.
Why normal ice? For a few reasons. It pulls from the bushy-tailed wood rat, which primarily lives in British Columbia, where it snows a lot. And look, the fluff on its tail and spine are ice crystals. Also,
Yeah,
fun
that's cool.
fact, Seattle is one of the most rat-infested cities in the United States, and
Damn.
historically, and even still today, they use dry ice as rat poison. Which
What?
is also why the ice on Raticate makes it look like a spine and ribs here. It's a dead, iced rat. Poison steel.
Then why isn't it ghost ice?
Now, mercriny. How do you mix
cute.
metal and poison?
Rust?
Well, by using mercury, the poisonous
Oh,
metal.
no. All right,
This
cool.
little guy is based on the pygmy horned lizard, which are covered in hard thorns and are able to shoot blood out of their eyes to distract predators.
Oh, so it
which
shoots
is what this
mercury
hero is
out of his
referencing.
eyes.
But shooting actual blood from your eyes is a bit dark and messed up for an E-rated game.
Yeah.
So let's make it steel type. It's liquid metal instead. It cries mercury, and its thorns are rusty, as wounds caused by rusty nails are believed to cause tetanus.
Yeah,
Both of
of
these
course.
are perfect reasons for it being poison steel type. Now then, here's a big one. How about the regional bug? Every early dex has one of these, the Caterpie grubbin blip bug of the region. So here we have Silo, an adorable little
cute.
upright grub. The bug normal type Silo do nothing but sit up and eat all day. They can eat their body's weight in grain in each sitting. So why is it normal on top of bug? Well, because the combo hasn't been done yet, and also you'll see the evolutions make more sense. So obviously,
course.
Silo is a lowly grub. All it
Grub silo, as in like the farmer silo, to keep it grain.
does is eat
Makes sense.
and rest, so it sighs a lot of the time.
Cute.
A little cutie. Plus, it's constantly stuffed with grain, so it functions much like a grain silo. All of that gets the idea behind the name, I feel, but now just what sort of grub is it? Well, it's a somewhat more obscure insect, and maybe you'll figure it out as we evolve it. Silo evolves into coo-reds pretty quickly.
Ooh.
Like Silo,
Musical
coo-reds
instruments.
are very immobile, but rather than sit and do nothing, it practices making unique
Of course, like any second evolutionary thing, it's cocoon or some sort of protective layer. Its defensive stats are probably very high, and speed is low. Speed attack is low. Yeah.
sounds with its trumpet-like proboscis mouth
Then it should be bug sound if it's going to be a typing.
thing. The fibers that grow from its head are super tough and surround its body to form a cocoon-like structure, protecting its soft, metamorphosing insides. The name comes from cocoon and dreads, as the fibers on its head appear like them. Dreadlocks are a bit more common here than elsewhere in the United States, especially on hippie-esque people. A stereotype for these states. So, why is it playing the trumpet? And what the heck is it? Well, it is the pupa stage of a weevil. I mean, look at this. It
Ew.
looks like it's playing a little trumpet. And they make coverings
Yeah,
out of
gross.
tiny twigs and such. I mean, look at this. It looks like it's playing a little trumpet. And they make coverings
Weevil, why did you have to rip Exodia?
out of tiny twigs and such. Coo-reds is where the normal type starts really
love
showing
Yu-Gi-Oh!
through.
Great.
They learn a load of sound-based moves, and compared to most bug-type Pokemon, are soft in parts. Hard exoskeletons is one of the big reasons the bug type is a bug type. It's what the type is all about. So the normal type here balances that out since it's a softer bug. And it gives it a stab bonus with loads of sound-based moves. With its trumpet, it pretty much only plays reggae and ska. Yeah, you heard me. Ska. Let's evolve it. Bug-A-Sack! Bug-A-Sack has a voice
It's like a
kind of
hacky
like a
sack.
deeper Mr. Mime, and it's what you get when you cross a weevil with a hacky sack and ska.
Yeah.
Though interestingly, hacky sacks have quite the interconnected history with ska and reggae. So real fast history time. Reggae and ska come from Jamaica originally, a place known for having heads full of perfect dreadlocks. When the genre made its way to the west coast of the United States, it started mingling with the punk scene that was just beginning to make it mainstream, which led to what most folks consider ska today. And it was at reggae and ska concerts that the footbag, what hacky sacks were once called, were first sold in Oregon City, Oregon.
Nice.
This is why the iconic hacky sack shares colors with your typical reggae Bob Marley aesthetic. And of course, the main thing that sets ska apart from other rock genres is the inclusion of trumpets. And weevil snouts are just begging to be turned into trumpets. And many weevil have patterns similar to hacky sacks already. Plus,
Very fuzzy.
hacky sacks tend to be filled with grains, just like silos and just like weevils. Weevils are known for ruining entire stockpiles worth of grain by
Dang.
infesting grain silos, the little devils. This is all so perfect! The only thing with this guy that
Cool.
I'm not too certain on is the name. If you have a better idea for a name than Bugay Sack, then let me know in the comments. But
I think it's
speaking
not
of
bad.
reggae and
Definitely not the most creative or original thing. Bug Sack is not like the best name, but yeah.
hacky sacks, it is time for an obviously a Jokemon. For normal poison, here is Cascadian Skunk Tank. Get it? People say weed smells like skunk. Also, again, the stereotype of this part of the United States and the legalization thing and
Yeah.
yeah. But why did it gain the normal type on top of the poison? Well, that's a good question. It's because it's mellowed out. It isn't fully poisonous
grass
gas
poison.
clouds
Should be
anymore.
grass poison.
It's chilled, it's mellowed out, it's calm, and it doesn't want to hurt the world very much anymore, man. So instead of focusing so much on poisoning people, I'm just gonna tackle them with normal moves. And also, here's a normal steel Cascadian Exploud.
Ooh, that's
Ska
awesome.
isn't the only genre that had its big start here, so did grunge. So this Exploud is basically one big Nirvana reference. The garage band from Seattle that
Nice.
exploded onto the scene and then exploded out of it. It's got an amp on its back and an even more spinopsy head with steel horns and steel teeth. These circles here are more speakers. It's your typical grunge colors, Cobain's glasses, guitar strings, and a pattern that resembles Converse and torn pants. Yeah, it's a lot. For Fighting Fairy, here's Namabjeka. Native American garb of this
that's
sort
cute.
was a huge part of the
That's
hippie
really cool.
60s protests, which is a part of this design, as well as the Nimarigar, a race of tiny people who ate other people, primarily from the folklore of the Shoshone people.
That's evil.
But would of
Love it.
course be spread throughout the mini nations. It's basically a Native American goblin of sorts, and in the case of this Pokemon, it is one that is fighting for justice through protests and self-defense tactics. It's a protester with a connection to nature. Kinda like Greenpeace, I guess. The name comes from Nimarigar, of course, which also goes by many other names depending on who you're talking to.
Object.
Nanumbi, Numorica, Numurica, Nanumdeka, Nenemreka, Nui Deka, and
Nenemrekta.
so many more, as well as
Sorry.
the word mob and object, fitting of protesters, and Portland and Seattle sure are fond of protests for social justice. I swear, this design was done way before the current wave of protests happened.
Hold up, I'm just sitting in the dark and I thought I heard something. I swear to God, I'm hearing something. I'm like sitting in the dark in my basement and I'm hearing some shit. So,
And I swear, I promise, it's coincidence. I'm not making light of a super serious situation, okay? Ground Fairy, Cascadian Excadrill.
that's so cool. It looks like Diancie mixed with Escadrille. That's cool. Ground Fairy. Yeah, that's well, Diancie is Rock Fairy technically, but still really cool.
Again, sort of self-explanatory. These Excadrill live in the crystal caves under a mystical mountain based on Mount Shasta. Some say that these Excadrill crystals have the power to heal. While true for wounds and poisonings, doctors say way too many people think it can do more than it can.
It looks like it is a Z crystal on the side of its head, like right here. This just looks like a Z crystal, this little bit here. Anyway, I'm just pointing out details. It looks a very cool design. I like the triangle flower-esque on its chest. The eyes also give it like such a cool look. Oh, it's really cool.
And your kids still need their shots, ma'am. Yeah, so Oregon and Washington is an anti-vaxxer hotspot. A huge chunk of the anti-vax movement started here. I remember just a couple years ago, there was like a huge measles outbreak here also. Because of that. But, you know, who needs modern medicine?
Literally everyone. If you're an anti-vaxxer, get vaxxed. I have 3 shots, so I'm good. I have 3 shots, so I am.
When you have
Good.
essential oils and healing crystals and yoga.
But autism.
Oh yeah, that's a chakra symbol on its gut, by the way.
Of course.
Fighting ground, Desiree. It uses the Swords of
It's a
Justice
bullwhip.
definition of the fighting type rather than the Kung Fu boxing one. Most of the stingrays that live in this part of the world are in this sandy color, and it's just already the perfect cowboy hat shape, really, or even a park ranger hat. Then, instead of a stinging tail, it's a bullwhip
Yeah,
tail. It's
nice.
a Wild West sheriff that swims through the Oregon dunes, which we have, by the way. I was super surprised to learn that at first, too. So many huge dunes everywhere. Disarray is always fighting for justice with its new whip-based fighting moves. I just absolutely love how this one turned out. A+ design. Bug Dragon. I'm gonna go ahead and go for
Nice.
the super obvious choice this time around. It's Cascadian Yanma and a
Yep.
new regional evolution, Yan Mage. So I
Ooh.
love this. Yan Mage is
There's a lot of mages here. I feel like we're getting a D&D thing. I see that 20-sided dice inside of his chest. Oh my god, that's really cool. He casts magic missile. He rolled a nat 20.
the same letters as Yan Mega, Yanma's normal evolution. You just swap those last two vowels around.
Genie.
It just works so well. These are found at Wizard Lake, which is based on Crater Lake, as Crater Lake has an island in it called Wizard's Island. So we went a step further and made it Wizard's Lake and added a wizard tower to that island. And yes, Blue Mage are found here too. So, a dragonfly it's such an easy connection to make for a bug dragon. But we wanted to do more than just a bug dragon, wanted to take it one step further, so we're going along with the idea that the dragon type is also explainable as a sorcery type, as we explain in this video here. So we added the sorcerer and wizard elements. The wizard hat, the sorcerer's staff tail, a magical orb that's actually an icosahedron in the bubble dice roller because it's also just one big Dungeons and Dragons reference.
I know,
Hence the
yeah.
nerdy glasses.
I didn't even notice the glasses. I mean, I wear glasses, but like, I'm not a nerd. I've only played like a single D&D campaign, and I didn't even finish it. But whatever.
It's a little role-playing LARPer dragonfly.
That's cute.
So it turns out the Pacific Northwest is the region with the most nerds in this
Yeah.
regard. I mean, look at this map. Also, it just makes sense.
The geography of
Wizards of the
American
Coast
nerddom.
started in Seattle as well. And I mean, it rains so much here, you gotta have some mainly indoor activities. For
D&D.
Rock Ghost, I've got two. Cascadian Palo Sand.
Okay, I want to note that freaking that ground ghost type. Oh my god, it should have been rock ghost. Or
Some
that-
mainly indoor activities.
Yeah.
For Rock Ghost, I've
yeah, that ground ghost type. It should have been rock ghost. I can't remember its name. I'm pretty sure it starts with a G. Editing me, put it up on screen right now. But damn, it should have been rock ghost. Why was it ground ghost? It makes no sense. It should have been rock ghost. It's literally rocks. It's not even ground. It's rocks.
got two. Cascadian Palo Sand and Prospector. Prospector is a Delmise type, a prospecting specter. A possessed rock with a mining
Very
lantern
simple
slash
design.
ghostly canary cage. As miners would
Ooh.
bring
We're aware of the canaries that the miners used to bring into the cave, so if the methane levels got too high, the canary would die, and that would tell them to get the fuck out.
canaries with them into mines. If the canary died, it was because there was poisonous gas in the cave,
Yeah.
and you should leave. Canaries are extra sensitive to such things.
Yeah.
Then Cascadian
I'm
Palo
aware.
Sand
I'm
just
smart.
swapped the sand for pebbles and river rocks.
Yeah,
Loads of
makes
beaches
sense.
like that in these parts. For normal rock, here's Cascadian
Ambipom.
Ambipom. I
Nice.
specifically wanted to try and redo Ambipom and Crabominable because
Why?
they are my least favorite Pokemon designs. So with this
Fair enough.
Ambipom, we basically mixed in some Lichen Rock elements and based it on the Aggro Pelter, a full
That's fucking terrifying. Anyway, that is really, really cool. It's kind of small, though.
folklore creature from the northern US, as in all of it, like here's a map. It was basically a Bigfoot-esque monkey creature with super long, bendy arms like this. And with those super bendy arms, it would throw rocks and sticks at extreme speeds with a whip-like motion to defend its territory. So just make those arms be the tails, and there you go! It uses its regular arms to just carry around extra rocks it finds. It has a really nice rock collection, and it is
Cute.
a champion rock skipper.
It is very cute.
And Cascadian Crabominable takes
Whoa,
ice
that's
poison.
awesome.
Look, it has more of a proper crab face now. So, regular regular Crabominable is based on the Yeti crab, so I wanted something similar. So this variant is based on the gorilla crab, also known as the elbow crab. They are fuzzy, brown, purpley, and have these extremely wide and strong arms. But the big fun fact here is that gorilla crabs are one of the very few species of crabs that are actually poisonous to eat. This brown fuzz, ice, and poison works well as a reference to the permafrost found in the north, which looks like this, and as it's melting, it is releasing all sorts of nasty gases and bacteria. Very bad, so it all comes together. For electric fighting, how about Mind Flux, a regional
Mianfu.
evolution of
Yeah.
Mind Fu, based on the Wolverine, a close relative of the Ermine. It uses Taekwondo, a martial art that is popular here.
Don't think
and
Don't think I didn't see Hugh Jackman in the bottom left.
uses electricity to speed up its punches and kicks. Many of the world's fastest fighters are Taekwondo artists, after all. Bug Dark. It seems odd that we haven't had a Bug Dark yet.
Yeah, Drapion should have been Bug Dark. That was stupid. It should have... Or Bug Poison. Like, why was it Poison Dark? It's literally a scorpion. Or a centipede, or whatever the fuck. It's a scorpion. Skorupi should have been Bug Poison. It's not. It's Dark Poison. It makes no sense. It's so dumb. It's so freaking dumb that we have not had a Bug Dark type yet. That should have been Drapion.
But here's Kleptorak. Spiders are often seen as evil and mean due to their methods, and thievery is also a very dark type thing
That's a scorpion spider.
to do. So this arachnid is a kleptomaniac with its extra grabby tail arm. It's based on a local nightmare. This is a spider so nightmarish that it still mainly goes by its scientific name, the Rumptier fictilium.
Yep.
I hate it. This Pokemon, though, not only steals things and puts them into its woven bag, but it also
Creepy.
just kidnaps other Pokemon.
So it's like Driftblim. Except instead of children, it's Pokemon. Got it.
So it's got a creepy old man kidnapper face.
Ah, the spider's a pedophile. I got you.
Eee! Poison Psychic now. This one's deep. This is Kayagus. So
Ooh,
hear me out. There's
that's
actually
really cool.
a lot to this design.
That's so
In
cool.
all of archaeology, the oldest known shoes were found near Fort Rock, Oregon.
Its face is at... There's the 5, and then the one big one, and then the gets smaller. Its face is a foot.
And they are made out of sagebrush. Sagebrush also has many medicinal and spiritual uses across the Americas,
Of course.
from treating wounds to warding off evil spirits and clearing the mind during meditation. Plus, more recently, we found out that it is in fact antibacterial and antifungal. Now, on top of that, in Japan there is a yokai known as the Ashiari Yashiki. It's just a giant foot. Like literally, it is a giant foot that breaks into your home and demands to be cleaned. Foot fungus
Ew.
is also a thing, as is the little old lady who lives in a shoe with the nursery rhymes and everything. And this is relevant because a sage is also an old wise person, often the one who would be using sagebrush. Now, on top of all this, the bottom of a snail is called a foot, and there are giant snails just like this giant foot yokai. And many snails eat and even cultivate fungus. Yeah, there are snail farmers. It's amazing. And a lot of cartoon depictions of old people give them wrinkly lips just like these. And if we exaggerate that further, we could get
That's
these
really
toe-like
cool.
protrusions. And then the big toe could be a poisonous harpoon launcher like what the cone snail has.
I was about
and
to
when you
say.
combine all of this, you get a wise, old, poisonous psychic snail that is a foot covered in fungus and sagebrush. And to top it all off, there's actually a fungus called dead man's toes, because it looks like this. Wow, it's honestly perfect. Also, Nike is based in Oregon. There's more feet stuff. And the name comes from fungus, yak, hag, and most notably, likaya, the Chinookan word for snail.
So nothing about feet.
And
Got it.
lastly,
Fire Fairy. Okay. If this is another mage, it'll still be cool, but Jesus Christ.
Fire Fairy Tamarost. A
Ooh.
tamarin hipster
They brew coffee, I guarantee.
barista that roasts coffee beans.
I fucking called it. I'm so smart. No, I think honestly Bloomage should have been this Fire Fairy. And these guys should have been the fire grass type because coffee beans, beans, and grass and plants. Why would they be fire fairy? I'm sure he'll explain. Oh, well, they're tamarins, I suppose. They're really cute. I'm assuming they're based off golden tamarins. Yeah, very cool.
Tamarin are from South America, just like a load of coffee. Barista that roasts coffee beans. Tamarin are from South America, just like a load of coffee beans. And people up here love coffee so much that they founded the world's biggest coffee place, Starbucks. And likewise, Tamarost are not native to the Cascade region, but rather are one with nature's and the dense jungles of the South. They can hear the forest calling to them, and their connection to nature means they will always find the best coffee beans. And as such, when coffee began being transported to the Cascade region en masse, they followed, and now are here. They pick the beans and roast them in their toasty hot hands. And thanks to the beans and their spiritual connection to them, they never sleep. Sleeping is too mainstream anyway. Also, they are incredibly good at giving massages, just because of the hot hands. Now, there are a few varying types of tamarin, which are super tiny monkeys. And them being that tiny just adds to their fairy typing. And then, their difference being sex-based is inspired by gibbons, which otherwise has no connection.
That makes sense.
But I'm sure you can see the rest. I wanted to reference multiple kinds of tamarin at the same time, because look, these two, they're just so perfect. It's such a little manly mustache monkey. These guys are so cute. And also, there are more stereotypes, because it's easy to come up with stereotypes. So what do you think of this group of Mon?
Nice.
Favorites? Least favorites? Do you prefer
I like the snail.
simple designs or the more inspirationally complex ones? Let me know down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Check out the description for links to all of these artists.
Okay. So, I want to talk about this man.
Poison Psychic now. This one's deep. This is Kayagus.
Kayagus. I was gonna... Okay. So, Kayagus. Awesome. I love the design. I love the inspiration behind it. Poison... Psychic. Okay. Now, it's a snail. So, maybe either psychic bug or psychic poison? Or bug poison? But I don't think it'd be psychic poison. I don't think that would make all that much sense. I think a bug should be at least one typing. Because, it's an actual snail. But to be fair, Drapian's a bug and it's not a bug. This is why Pokemon should have 3 types. Like Arceus, when he gets that plate, he just has all typings. So, yeah. And his only weakness is rock. Like, one of the worst typings, in my opinion. Of course, bug is the worst, followed closely by ice, and then I think it's rock after that. Like, defensively and offensively wise. Anyway, this is very cool. I just want to keep reacting to these. So this is... I'm recording... Words. I'm going to be recording multiple videos today. Because I want to release multiple. And, yeah, this is going to be the end of the first one. I'll try to record. What time is it? I'm sure I have time for one more. Sure I have time for like one, maybe 2 more. Maybe, depending on how long they are. I might react to different stuff as well. Also, I did see a comment by some other people. React tell me Genshin stuff. Maybe, but like the Genshin Impact, I'm not all that fond of the game. Okay? I will note, I am not all that fond of it. Also, I want to know, starting soon, hopefully, I will be buying Jump King for my PC, and I will be streaming my entire adventure trying to beat that foul game on Twitch. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you, hopefully soon on Twitch. I'll try to stream tomorrow, but anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.